Good evening, everybody. I am Saji Rahab, founder of VERMA Math Learning Program. I am here to talk about the importance of Vedic mathematics. You know, you guys already have heard about Vedic mathematics long before, or you have a vague idea what exactly it is. Vedic math is actually the current trend. I mean, people began to realize the importance of Vedic mathematics, our ancient Indian wisdom. And I am going to talk about a few words about this Vedic mathematics here. I do remember that when I was young, when I was in 5th grade or 4th grade, I used to be in the classroom. I had an assumption of the math classes. A teacher coming with a long stick and, scaring everyone. And most of the students, we were really scared in the math classes. During the time when the teacher comes, you are very much scared. The first and primary reason was the burden of mugging up the math facts. Let it be addition facts or multiplication facts. It was a Herculean task for us to by heart this. And you also have come across this stage, right? And after 30 years of those days, still 30, 40 years, still the situation is same. Our math teaching system, our math learning style hasn't improved a lot. And still, there is one thing universally common to every student. That is, everybody says, math is boring, math is dull. And here I am going to introduce the great ancient Indian wisdom, Vedic mathematics, and its importance to you guys. I hope after this session, you will get back to Vedic mathematics and make the best use of it. Actually, Vedic mathematics is the ancient Indian wisdom, as I said before. Most of us know that abacus is an alternative, right? Always, when we find a child is facing difficulty with a learning probe, difficulty with the mathematics, the first thing we think of is abacus. Yes, it's a great tool, no doubt. But the difference is that we have to use a tool for manipulation. And that tool is not used in the school class, a school room. And so there's a contradiction between what they are learning in the class, abacus class, and or in the classroom. But Vedic mathematics, the benefit of Vedic mathematics is it's a purely mental maths. We can do it in the mind. We can process it in the mind. And that makes math learning really a great or an interesting task actually. And now, when it comes to multiplication table, there is no need to mug up any multiplication table in Vedic mathematics. Maybe 1 to 5 times table, multiplication tables, if you learn that, we can improvise from 5 to 1,000 timetables, multiplication tables, using Vedic math strategies. And if you make the best use of this Vedic mathematics, you know that there is no need to worry, there is no need to scare about this mathematics now. So my task here is to show how it works. And before that, I am asking you some questions. First of all, if you teach a first grader, what is the first step you are doing? Maybe at the age of 5 or 6, the child will start writing the numbers. And after 6 or 7, he will start adding, multiplying. And that's all. 2-digit calculation becomes really tough, even at the age of 10 and 12. Here are some students. I want to show using the power of Vedic mathematics. How we use the power of Vedic mathematics. That's what I'm going to show you here. Using this power, how we changed a 6-year-old child or a 5-year-old child or 7-year-old child. And what is the current skill when we applied this Vedic mathematics the proper way that suits a modern child, how the result came out. That is what I'm going to show you now. Let me share it. Please give me 1 minute. Here I just want to show you how a child can learn multiplication tables. I hope I am sharing it. Here, 9 times 8. 9 times 8, 9 times 8 is 72. In our conventional maths, there is no way to multiply this 9 times 8 other than mucking it up, right? We must know the facts. 9 times 8 is 72. You have to memorize it. Here in this screen, you can see in the screen how this Vedic mathematics works. When you want to multiply 9 times 8, what will be? Just we have to we have to multiply 9 times 8, 72. The first thing we have to do is to subtract this, find the difference between 9 and 8 from 10. I subtracted this 9 from 10 and I got 1. And I subtracted this 8 from 10 and I got 2. So I got 1 and 2. I repeat, this 9 is subtracted from 10 and I got 1. The 8 is subtracted from 10 and I got 2. Now what am I going to do? I just, to get the first part of the answer, that's the unit place, I multiply this 1 and 2. 1 times 2 is 2. I got it. And second part, to get this 7, I subtract this crosswise. I subtract 9 from 2. 9 from 2 subtracted is 7. Right? 9 minus 2 is 7. So I got 9 8s are 72. That is 9 8s are. Look at that. In our conventional math, there is no way to multiply this or improvise this task. But in our convention, in Vedic mathematics, in Vedic methods, we can use this. We can use this system. 9 minus 1 times 2 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. Let's take this 7 times 7. We subtract both the 7s from 10. 10 minus 7, that is 3. Again 10 minus 7, that is 3. We got it. You understood why I wrote this 3 below, right? Now, to get the first part, I multiply 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And 7 minus 3. What is 7 minus 3? That is 4. You got 7 7s are 49. And 7 7s are 49. There's no doubt about it. Look at that. Any multiplication facts, which is above 5, we can get the answer this way. Just to find the difference from 10, write it below. And to get the first part, multiply those differences from 10. That is what I have written below. One here in the first case, 1 and 2. You wrote it there. We got 2. To get the second part, I subtracted 9 and 2 crosswise, diagonally. So it got 9 minus 2 is 7. So 9 8s are 72. And the second part, the same way in the second question, 7 times 7, I just got the difference between 10 and those numbers. 10 minus 7 is 3. 10 minus 7 is 3. I got 2 3s here below and I wrote them down. And then to get the first part of the answer, I multiplied 3 and 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. And to get the second part, I subtracted 3 from 7. I got 4. So 49. Look, this is actually a great help for the kids. I don't say that we need to depend on this always, but after practicing for a while, we can do it mentally, and the multiplication, mucking up the multiplication, that becomes really, really easy. And truly amazing thing is that it is not limited to single-digit calculations. It's not limited within this single-digit calculation. We can apply this 2-digit calculation, or 3-digit calculation, or 4-digit, 5-digit, even 10-digit calculation. Look at the example given, 99 times 95. I hope you see that. Now, I have written this 1 below 99 just because the difference between 100 and 99 is 1. And I wrote down this 5 below 95 because the difference between 95 and 100, that is just 5. So I got 1 and 5. But you know that these two numbers are near 100. So multiply 1 and 5. The differences together, you get 5. But as it is very close to 100, just to make it 2-digit, 100 has 2 zeros, right? So if you get 5, you write 0, 5. If you get 6, when you multiply them, you write 0, 6. If you get a 9, you write 0, 9. But if you get 10, it's a 2-digit number, you don't do anything. You just write 10 there. But here we have a single-digit number. What is single-digit answer? What is that? 1 times 5 is 5. We wrote 0, 5. And how to get the first part of the answer? This as is the as before. Subtract 95 minus 1 or 99 minus 5. And 99 minus 5 is what? That is 94. See, we did this great task in seconds. What? 99 minus 5 or 95 minus 1. We got 94. That's the first part of the answer. And 1 times 5 is 5, 0, 5. Look at that. This calculation can hardly do in mind without Vedic maths. And this is one of the most important things we must learn about Vedic maths. And also I want to clarify some doubts about Vedic mathematics. Vedic maths doesn't mean Shakuntala Devi. Okay, Shakuntala Devi was a genius, great genius India ever has seen. But she has been fond of this Vedic mathematics and has been using a lot of tricks out of this. But she was a true talent. And if you think that if you learn Vedic maths, you can become a Shakuntala Devi, that is really an obsession. Okay, it may not happen. It is just like music, just like other skills, dance, this math calculation, mental math is also, yes, great skill. That is rarely seen among people. But to do a 2-digit calculation in the head, we can learn Vedic maths. To do timetables up to 1000 in head, we can do it just learning Vedic mathematics. If you want to square all the questions up to 1000 or square all the numbers up to 1000, you can use the power of Vedic maths and you can do it in just seconds. And if you want to find the cube root of 10-digit number in 3 seconds, you can use this Vedic mathematics. And if you want to find out whether a number is divisible by a great number, bigger number, than the normal divisibility is just 1 to 9 or 11 or 12, we can even find out whether a number is divisible by 99, 99 or 33 or 11 or whatever it is. There are a lot of options. So Vedic maths actually makes maths learning really a great and easy thing for all the students. And I am sure that once Vedic mathematics is taught in school, it becomes, children will love it very well. Children will obviously start loving mathematics. Let me give you some more examples how we can find out the multiplication tables up to 100. But I will start with tables ending with 1. That is 21 times table, or 31 times table, or 41 times table, or 51 times table, or 61, 71, 81, any number, any 2-digit numbers ending with a 1. 31. I'm taking, for example, I'm picking up 31. 31 times 1. You write 3 ones are 3 and write 1. 31 times 1. First multiply 3 and 1. 3 ones are 3 and 1. 31. 31 times 2. Multiply 3 times 2. That is 6. And simply say 2 because 31 times 2, right? So we have to say the last digit should be 2. 3 2s are 6. 62. 31 times 3. Multiply 3 by 3. 3 by 3 is 9, right? And 31 times 3. So the last digit will be 3. 93. 31 times 4. 3 4s are 12 and 4. 124. 31 times 5. 3 5s are 15. And then say 5. 155. 31 times 6. 3 6 are 18. And 6. 186. 31 times 7. 3 7s are 21. And 7. 217. So this way we can improvise a lot of things in mathematics, and that makes math learning really a better process or a piece of cake. So I would love you people just to going and getting getting to know about Vedic mathematics and learning about it and making math learning a lot interesting and impressive. And the next thing, while teaching maths, generally people ask me some questions. What's the best way to teach maths? What age we can start this Vedic maths? What is the right age for starting Vedic maths? There is no particular age to start with Vedic maths. It's all depending on how the subject is presented to the student. If the subject is presented to the student in a very pleasant and in a peaceable and in an interesting way, this 5-year-old or 6-year-old is really easy. Every child can pick it up. And one example I can say, I have a student called Gautam who started at the age of 4.5, and now he is able to do calculations like you can watch him on YouTube and 2-digit calculations, squaring numbers up to 100, and finding the percentages. A lot of things he does with a lot of ease, and he started learning numbers with me, counting on the fingers. And within just 2 years, Vedic math has changed that child, turned that child into a math genius. And I can give another example, Janavi, or people who has learned, who can do this 9-digit cube roots in 3 seconds. She's a 7+-year-old child. So these things can change the math learning system really a lot. And we can redefine the learning with the use of this mathematics. That is what I want to say. I always request people to go learn more about Vedic mathematics and understand how it's working, how it can be. But while teaching, the first thing parents should care should be that the introduction to the subject should be so pleasant and entertaining. Otherwise, the child, for example, if the teacher is not up to the mark while introducing the subject, or the curriculum is not up to the mark, the child will have a long-standing impression that math is bad. It's very difficult to change that later. So when you teach, the first step, whatever you teach, should be digestible to the student, pleasant to the child, and the child should enjoy this. And one more thing, we should all understand, a child learns not just because he is taught. He learns perfectly when we teach him the way he understands it. What is the meaning? I mean, when we teach, we should understand the learning style of the child. For example, there are mainly 3 types of students who are the first one. I can say auditory kind of learners. Auditory kind of learners, you talk to him talk to the child for a while, just 1 hour, he will sit and listen patiently. Or 2 hours, he will still sit and understand, or she will sit and understand it, because she is an auditory learner. And she has that skill, he has that skill to listen and learn. But most students are not auditory learners. So if the child is not an auditory learner, and if you teach a lot, if you talk to him a lot, he will not be listening to you. So he must be, if he is not an auditory learner, then what will be he? He will be a visual learner. Visual learner, what does it mean? He learns a lot while he sees things, while he see the color, while he see a good presentation. And such kind of students are visual learners. And if you want to teach a child who is a visual learner, we have to obviously teach the way the child understands it, present things visually. And there are 3rd type of learners, who are the kinesthetic type of learners. They just don't learn. They just don't sit and listen. They just don't just watch things. They want to be involved in the learning process. They want to move. They are restless most of the time. You can see such teachers especially know that the students, if you ask them, shout at them, they will sit 5 minutes, 2 minutes. And again, they will be either taking their hands away and scratching or hitting somewhere or tapping somewhere, or either they will be taking the keeping the legs up over the other leg and shaking it. They can't sit idle. They can't be just like the others. So this is their learning nature. And once we understand that the students are different, they differ in learning nature and learning style, we can hardly scold a child for not learning. And we have to scold ourselves for only depending on auditory type of learning to all the students in the class. So if you really want to teach the whole class where there are 30 to 40 students, we have to adopt a different system than this word talking. Now I am talking to you. Really want to show some presentation, but I had a very hectic schedule last week, and so I couldn't do everything that way I expected. But I think that I'll be doing it next time with more presentations. So what I say is, while teaching your student, first you please understand what is the type of what type of learner is your child. Is an auditory learner? Yes, you talk to him a lot. You talk to her a lot. She will listen to you. She will be very happy. She will be very patient. But if he or she is a visual type of learner, please present more colorful stuff to them. And they will watch it. They will be very much interested in learning that. And if he is a kinesthetic type of learner, just involve him in the learning process with the activities. But just to say one example, when I want to ask the students questions, multiplication tables in a classroom, I use some methods. I think that it would be good to good sharing with the teachers the same thing. So what I did is I used to take a ball and just throw it among the students to the group. The students, that they will be so active. When I throw it out to the group, they'll be trying to catch it. The student who catches this ball should answer my questions. See the enthusiasm they will have. And the second thing I use for teaching multiplication table, especially in the lower classes, middle class. So I used to play musical chair. Musical chair, I mean, instead of singing songs, I put the chairs in a circle. There may be, for example, there will be 10 chairs and 11 students. And instead of saying these numbers, song, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say it aloud. So when it is, for example, if we are teaching 7 times table, when we say 7, all should try to sit, and one will be outright. And if it is 14, then they have to sit. And if it is 21 and 28, whenever the facts of multiplication facts of 7 comes, they have to just sit. And after this, once or twice you play this game, if you play this game, what happens to the students? You no need to tell them. You ask them which numbers you search. When they will say, I sat on this 4, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, etc. So this memory will be really good, and children love learning mathematics or mathematical multiplication tables very much at this point. So make the learning process really easier and interesting. Put in little thoughts, and that is what I have done for the last 10 years effort. Have devised a lot of games like this and made everything, every moment of the classroom. And some of the, every moment of the classroom is actually very interesting. I hope you guys got an idea about what Vedic mathematics is. I know that it takes years. Even if I get 2 days or 3 days, I may not be able to finish with it. So right now, I'm saying goodbye to you guys. Please try to understand more about Vedic mathematics. And we have vmat.in, that's our website. And you can also search for my name and YouTube channels there for getting more details about me. Okay, thank you so much for giving me such a wonderful time.